Welcome to the Steve and Mead review. I'm Steve and this is Mead. And today we saw A Christmas Carol starring Jim Carrey.
Once again, another reinventing of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. This time it was CGI animation, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Which, for me, wasn't done that well. I thought a lot of it was pretty crappy. I really wasn't impressed with the animation in this movie. It was kind of disappointing. There were a few scenes, though, that I did like, involving the ghosts, mostly.
I didn't think the animation in this was too bad. We didn't see the 3D version, so maybe it's
it might be better.
More impressive that way.
Because I've seen this movie before, and there's not much you can do with A Christmas Carol. Like, change a few scenes around, but all together, you know at the end what's going to happen. It's nothing new. So
yeah, I thought there were some scenes that were a little too long, in my opinion. There's the one where he's being chased by a carriage for like
that was
5
a little
minutes.
too long.
Yeah, and there was one other scene that I thought was too long. Oh yeah, when his dead associate, what's his name?
Marley.
Yeah, when Marley comes and it takes forever for him to bust through the door, and I was like, okay, just come through the door already. You know, that might be suspenseful if this is if you're a kid and this is your first time watching a Christmas Carol movie, but you know, we all know what happens.
I think this movie might be a little too scary for children.
You think so?
When you watch it?
Maybe a little bit. This movie has been done many times before, and this version doesn't really offer much more than any of the older ones do, except that it is computer graphic, and you know, as I mentioned, the 3D. I don't know if that makes a big difference. But, you know, you could just watch one of the older ones and it's just as good. You know, it seems to me that there's probably like 3 or 4 different Disney versions of A Christmas Carol. And, you know, they just seem to be milking it. But overall, I thought this was a decent incarnation of the story. They kept a lot of the language pretty close to what it was, you know, originally, as far as I could tell. Which is cool. And also, this is something I never really noticed before, but they mentioned how Ebenezer Scrooge is a money changer. He's a banker. And I think that's awesome. I mean, the idea of bankers suffering for eternity is very pleasant to me. And I never realized that that's what he was doing
that's
originally.
What he is.
They don't make a big deal about it, but yeah, fuck the bankers, go to hell, bankers. I don't see any bankers today going out and being as charitable as Scrooge in the movie. There's no way.
He mentioned something about men of the cloth and how...
Oh yeah, that's right. They do trash on the priests a little bit, which is also good, you know. I think religion is a terrible thing, almost as bad as bankers. I wish they would have gone deeper into that sort of aspect of the movie, because those are the things that interest me, not this Christmas happy
humbug.
Special feeling garbage. Yeah, I do not like Christmas.
Are you Scrooge?
So.
Is that who you are?
Sort of. I like Scrooge better in the beginning of the movie than I do at the end.
The voice acting in this isn't bad. It's pretty good, actually. I have to give actors credit for doing that, because the way that it's done is like they're watching the movie on a screen and they have to act their voice only.
You know, I wonder
while the video is rolling, and that for me seems like it'd be very difficult.
I'm not sure if they may have done some motion capture with the actors, because you know they do that a lot these days. So they may have actually acted out some of it. I really liked Gary Oldman as Bob Cratchit. I thought he did a pretty good job. I didn't think this movie was too bad, but you know, it's just the same old Christmas Carol done again.
Just slightly modified.
Yeah. So I'm going to give this movie a C. I think it's just an average movie. It's okay, but as Mead said, you've seen this before, so.
Yeah, I agree with Steve. I give this movie a C. It's average Christmas Carol movie.